What's up, everybody? So today we're going to be reviewing Palworld, the 1.0 release. This game is awesome. I have been having a blast with it. It is a ton of fun. I'm digging the gameplay loop. I'm loving a lot of the mechanics. There are some things that I think could use improvement, but overall this game is an 8 out of 10. Easy, solid, strong 8 out of 10. And I feel like if the devs update this game the same way that the devs for Crimson Desert update that, this game could easily go to a 9, 10. It's so good, and I feel like it's got such a strong foundation that if they just build on that and smooth out some things and add a little bit of polish to certain things, this game will easily be at a 10. Will be a 10 out of 10. So, let's just talk about some things up front. So I know I've been comparing it a lot to Pokemon. That's probably not really even close to being the case. You could more compare it to like Ark, the Ark games. I believe they're called. I don't know if they're just called Ark or Ark Survival Evolved or whatever the case may be. It's the one where they drop you on an island. There's dinosaurs and creatures and dragons and all that stuff. This is more of that than it is more of Pokemon. So it is like if Ark and Pokemon had a baby and you went light on the Pokemon side, you'd get Palworld 1.0. And it's got a good gameplay loop where the survival elements aren't so harsh and in your face that it is like, I don't know, it feels like micromanaging and it feels like a chore. It's just enough elements in there to make the game fun without it being like a chore. So yeah, the gameplay, we're just going to be talking about it from the default normal settings, nothing tweaked, nothing changed. But because it is like Ark and kind of like Minecraft, you can adjust custom settings to play this game pretty much however you want, however you desire. You can probably adjust a setting for it and make it feel like that. But with that being said, the art style I really, really like. I feel like this kind of an art style for a video game ages really, really well. You've got like the bright color palettes, the almost cartoony vibe to it. Stuff like that just it stands the test of time. I can't say enough about art styles like that. I prefer them. I really enjoy them as opposed to other games like Ark, who tend to look like a little rough throughout the game's life cycle if it doesn't get like graphical and fidelity upgrades. It's just one of those things. So Palworld, we're going to get into some of the cons, and then I am just going to rave about this game for the rest of the time. So for the cons, I noticed that when I go to fast travel in this game, I don't know if anyone else is having this issue or if it's always been an issue or if it's just the way the game is, but when I go to fast travel, upon reaching the destination that I am fast traveling to, my game stops. Everything except for the sound effects just lock. You don't see character movement, you don't see PAL movement, you don't see weather or grass or anything. There's no movement. Everything just locks. It basically does a soft freeze. It takes a little bit to catch up, and then we're right back in business. So it's back to playing. But I wish they would smooth that out because that takes you out of the game and it kind of breaks up that like fluidity, that feeling of like constantly being in motion. It kind of like takes you out of it. So I don't like that. I hope they fix that. Another thing is the combat can sometimes feel pretty clunky. There's like auto tracking for your pals to find other pals, and then sometimes you're playing this chasing game or this catch up game. Honestly, a lot of your initial damage seems like it's going to come from you as the player yourself. I'm launching like long range attacks because it engages the battle, and then the pal is usually engaged, and then my pals can then attack in a fairly easier manner. But this is nothing like if you're expecting Pokemon where you can throw a pal out, you do turn-based combat or issue direct move commands to the pal to fight the other pal. That is not the case. So like I said, it's pretty light. It's like very light on the Pokemon mechanics. Apart from catching the monsters, that's pretty much it. And from what I've seen, but you get pals that have special skills and all that. So I would like to see combat kind of tightened up. I don't really need like a Pokemon level thing where I can like issue move commands to my pal. I'm totally fine with them having their own AI and attacking however they please. I do wish that it was a little bit tighter and a little bit cleaner, but apart from that, I feel like those are the two things that really kind of took me out of the game. And then the movement. I know you can do things to upgrade movement, and I am all for grinding and unlocking and working towards improved movement or enhanced movement, but I feel like a baseline movement out of the game should feel smooth, it should feel snappy, it should feel quick, it should feel clean. With this, I think the jump is okay, it's fine. I would have liked to see like a little bit cleaner of a jump, more height, more momentum when you're doing like the running jumps. And your movement speed right out of the gate feels, I don't know, a little clunky, a little weighted down. I would have loved to see that increased and me covering a little bit more ground right out of the gate. I get it. That's a personal preference, and I'm sure you can tweak some settings in the custom world settings to make that a possibility, to make that happen. But I'm just talking, like I said, about normal default settings straight off the rip. So, yeah, those are the only things that really stood out to me. And I have only scratched the surface of this game, so maybe I'll discover more things later that kind of like annoy me or take me out of the experience or the immersion. But for now, those are the only cons. That's why I didn't give it a higher grade. But trust me, this 8, I don't want you to think it's like a low score. It's a solid, strong 8. It's like a B plus kind of thing we're talking about. The game is great. I am loving it. I'm having a blast. And that'll lead us into the many pros that I have with this game. Okay, so this game just knows how to take up all your time. I can't tell you how many times I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do one more thing and then I'll take a break. I'll get off here. I'll go do some other stuff. No, I won't because the game captures you. It takes you hostage in a good way. It's one of those things where you are doing something, but then that leads to you wanting to do something else and something else. That gameplay loop, that mechanic where it just keeps you wanting to grind, keeps you wanting to explore, catch, fight, battle, raise your level, get tech points, get ancient tree tech points. They do a great job of that, of keeping you addicted, keeping you wanting to play. And me, I am not a huge fan of survival games, but this one is just so well done that the survival mechanics are just enough that you have to engage with them, but not so heavy-handed where it ruins your gaming experience. I really enjoy that. I like my survival games to be light on the survival, heavy on the RPG, and heavy on the sandbox. And when we talk about sandbox, boy does Palworld kill it. So many things you can do. You can set up a camp. You can build. You can, create these manufacturing sites where you're cranking out stone and wood and other materials and resources, and you're unlocking pals to work on your farms and work on your ranches. It's so good. They are phenomenal, and the gameplay loop there is so fun. And eventually, as you upgrade your bases and you upgrade your experience and everything, you're able to unlock more locations where you can have more like PAL boxes set up, which are basically just your hubs, your cities, your towns, your outposts, whatever you want to call them. It's your little base of operations where you can set multiple of these, and they also act as additional fast travel points. So you can zip across the map. You can set up, one PAL place for, let's say you want to just mine rock, mine stone, and farm for wood. You could set that up in one area, and then you could have another setup where you're getting like wool from pals that produce it, and you could have pals that drop flame organs or ice organs or stuff like that, and you could basically farm resources at different areas and then just fast travel to those areas and collect resources like that. Do a resource grind. That's another reason why I want to see the fast travel system smoothed out, because of like having to do that, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Nothing takes me out of it more than like landing at my destination, everything locking up, and then being like, okay, now you can play again. Yeah, it just takes me out of it. I am assuming, I am almost guaranteeing that it's something that is going to be patched. And like I said, if they're like the Crimson Desert devs, where they constantly show continuous support for this game's going to be an easy 10 out of 10, and it'll probably happen within the first handful of patches. So I'm very psyched for that. I look forward to seeing all sorts of new stuff added, more pals, more locations, more game content, more items, more materials to build with. It's phenomenal. The gameplay loop is so much fun. I love going around, catching all the pals, battling the pals, fighting the syndicate. I caught a person yesterday. It was by accident, but I caught him, and they did a little warning thing. They were like, hey, catching people can be considered as inhumane. I don't care. It was so cool. It was so much fun. I caught him and I put him to work on the farm. I didn't give a shit. It was so much fun. I love that this game is a do what you want kind of game. It's a sandbox. You're creating your own adventure. There is a story there. There isn't any voice acting, which I'm fine with. We've all played Pokemon games. We know what to expect. You're just reading text, but it's not so much about the story. The story is there to just help you uncover different gameplay mechanics and different equipment and unlocks along the way, and how to use them and what to use them for. So I'm totally fine with that. It's whatever. Take it or leave it. Would I like voice acting? Yes. Do I think it's a necessity to make the game good? No. So yeah, man, it's been a ton of fun. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing track of stuff because there's just so much to talk about. But yeah, the game is a blast. I'm having so much fun setting up camps, setting up these little outposts, having one for I'm trying to grind ore now because ingot is just busting my ass. I am just trying to get enough ingot to make all the upgrades and get all the materials I want to upgrade my tools and build new armor, and just different areas require a certain amount of ingot or a certain amount of leather, and it's a grind, and I love it. It's fun. It's not so grindy that you feel like it's a chore, but it's just enough to keep you engaged, like I said, without feeling it's a real strain. So I love it. You manage a lot of things in this game. A lot of things get micromanaged. Your food, your temperature, your pals' sanity, stuff like that. But it's relatively easy enough to keep all those things at a good level, so you're not sitting there having to feel like part of the game is spent just monitoring these things constantly. Once you get certain items, it's almost like a set it and forget it thing. I'm having a blast with Palworld. It's an 8 out of 10. It's solid. It's a super game. A lot of fun. It's been taking up most of my time, and I've been playing it more so than all the other games that I was wanting to play this weekend. So yeah, it's just taking up so much of my time, and I love it. I've been having a blast. And if you made it this far in the video, please let me know what you think of Palworld. Are you playing it? If you are you having a good time? Let me know a little bit about your experience and some of the adventures that you're getting into and what you like to do or grind for in the game, stuff like that. I love hearing stuff like that because then it gives me ideas, and then I just start spitballing, and it all just kind of accumulates, and I get all these things. So anyways, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance yet, and you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like geeky stuff. I try to update everything on a daily basis, even if it's just short videos. But yeah, come on, join the community. We'd love to have more people. So yeah, subscribe, and like I said, leave me a comment. Let me know about your time in Palworld. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.